Hello, welcome to our presentation. This is for the Capstone Project for the fall semester of 2025 for ET 262.
So my name is Shelton Bocook. I'm an environmental technology and management major. On this project, I focused on the history of incentives and policies, the solar technology, and the renewable portfolio standard.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Clark, and I'm a paper science and chemical engineering major student. I focused on picking the address of where we were going to do this project and Oregon's net metering.
Hi, my name is Alexa Simon. I'm an environmental technology and management major. I focused on the introduction, conclusion, and property tax incentive.
My name is Bradley Strunk. I'm an electrical engineering major. I focused on the solar capacity of our system as well as the scale, Oregon and Salem politics, and the OSSRP incentive.
So just to go ahead and introduce our client, the reason that we're doing this project, our client is seeking to build a solar PV system on their property in Salem, Oregon. The plan is to use the policies and incentives that Oregon provides and offers to homeowners that are looking to build these solar interconnected systems on their property. And our client plans to power their homes primarily and to sell any excess power back to their local utility.
We chose the address of 1555 Pearl Street in Salem, Oregon as a site for solar energy residential project. We found that it offers several strategic advantages that support performance. The location benefits from Salem's favorable solar potential with consistent sunlight exposure. Additionally, integrating solar at the address can help reduce utility costs, lower carbon emissions, and contribute to local sustainability goals, making it a smart and forward-looking investment for this region.
Now we're going to take a look at the solar capacity. I used the residential energy cost estimator from the NREL. This was created by them. Basically, its purpose is to determine the annual energy consumption of anyone seeking to look at their power bill. I put in all of the information I could find from the housing website Zillow into our calculator, and I used this annual energy consumption to gauge the capacity of the PV system we will need. After calculations, the annual energy consumption of our client, given the information, was roughly 8,093 kilowatt hours per year. Now, with this, we decided to look at our solar scale. The annual energy consumption given has an average of 674.5 kilowatts per month and 221 kilowatts per day. The average solar radiation that's seen in Salem, Oregon is 4.2 kilowatt hours per meter squared a day. We have a standard performance ratio of 0.8. Next to that, you can see the PV system size general formula that we can use. Using that formula, I plugged in everything that I needed, including the performance ratio, the kilowatt hours needed per day, and the Salem 4.2 rounded kilowatt hours you can see per meter squared per day. I got around 6.6 kilowatts. This 6.6 kilowatt system will cover the house's average electric energy usage. During months of excess production, such as the fall where it's not too hot, not too cold, the client would be able to sell the power to the utility that is local to them. During months of production deficit where they're using more power than they're making, the client would buy from the utility. The annual energy production based on these metrics is 8,094 kilowatt hours per year.
So I'm going to go into the technology of the monocrystalline silicon solar panels. Panels have a single crystal silicon structure, which means that each cell within the panel is made up of one continuous silicon crystal, which allows the electrons to move freely. When sunlight hits each cell, it causes the electron to move rapidly, which generates electric currents. The more sunlight that is absorbed by the panel, the faster the electrons move, generating more electricity. The MSS panels are the most efficient out of the residential panels with 20 to 24% efficiency. Each panel has a lifespan around 25 to 30 years with gradual performance declines. And the MSS panels have a black, sleek look, making them more desirable for buyers. Continued, the electricity from panel to home in the grid. Solar panels produce direct current electricity. Solar inverter is then used to convert DC into alternating currents, known as AC electricity, which can be used by home appliances and utility grids. The electricity produced by solar panels is sent straight into the home to be used. If your panels don't create enough electricity, then your home will automatically pull power from the grid. If excess power is created, then it will be sent back to the grid for others to use. Net meter devices are used to track the amount of energy used and then sent to the grid to calculate if you owe the electricity company money or if they will reimburse you for your energy sent off. So the history of Oregon's renewable energy incentives and policies. The Oregon Department of Energy, known as the ODOE, was established in 1975, promoting energy conservation and developing permanent energy sources. The ODOE has provided over 10,000 incentives for renewable energy projects. In 2002, Oregon became the first state to install solar panels on its Capitol building. And in 2019, Oregon launched their solar storage program that offers rebates for solar installations and solar storages for low to middle to income houses. And then finally, in 2024, Oregon has awarded $86.6 million in federal grants to expand its solar energy profile, where they are actually currently working on the Solar for All program.
We'll go into the politics of Oregon as a state. As a state, it has historically been supportive of the right to own solar and interconnect with the grid. As seen here, we can look at the utility coordination in different zones seen by the Oregon Utility Coordination Council. Since 1999, Oregon has required utilities to allow PV interconnections, so if a resident wanted to interconnect, then they would be able to. HOAs must also allow solar installations. Now, there can be tricky things around this, such as them requiring things that need to be on the solar panels or certain aesthetics, but they cannot restrict it as a whole. Solar easement laws are also in place that allow the property owner to secure sunlight through legal means. Solar easements are basically rights to your property to have sunlight on them. So a hotel developer can't come in and build a 5-story building preventing you from getting any sunlight to your solar panels, because that would ultimately discourage people from building them in the first place. Now we'll go into Salem politics. The state of Oregon itself is supportive of solar, and so is Salem. It is independent with some supporting facts. There are specific rebates for the residents that fall within the Salem Electric's region, which is most of the city. Salem has explicit municipal code that allows solar interconnection, so even more legal ways to fight your way to get PV systems. And they have shown flexibility on permitted solar installation, including placement and angles, so they're not very strict on what angle they have to be at or where you have to place them on your building, as long as they work and are justifiable. Now we'll go into the OSSRP, the Oregon Solar and Storage Rebate Program Incentive. The state level incentive launched in 2020, which allows homeowners in Oregon to install a new PV system to receive rebates. The standard program is $1.8 per watt capacity DC up to 60% or $5,000, whichever is less. The benefit lessens if the customer is already pulling other benefits from the utility or has high income. So the first bullet point you can see is for low income. Benefits are then paid to contractors installing customers' solar by the Oregon Department of Energy, and then they'll go through the process of getting the discount for the customer. Now, if you want a battery added, you get even more incentive. There's more opportunity for incentive for rebates, such as $300 per kilowatt of installed capacity, 60% of the project cost, or $2.5 thousand, $15,000 if low income, whichever is less, and this is only specific to the battery. OSSRP has been effective since its implementation in 2020. Around 7,000 installations have been put in place using the rebate program.
So the next policy we're going to get into is the property tax incentive, also known as the ORS 307.175. This was enacted in 1976 and applies directly to property owners in Oregon installing an alternative energy system. So when you install these systems on your property, the value that the solar system adds to your home cannot be taxed. This is written directly into Oregon law. And it states that the real market value added by an alternative energy system is exempt from assessment and taxation. So in other words, even though your solar increases your home's market value, you will not see your property taxes go up because of it. This is confirmed not only in the Oregon revised statutes, but also through the guidance provided by Oregon County assessors. For example, it is explained that renewable energy system sources will not increase the assessed value of property. This exemption applies to residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial properties as long as the system offsets on-site electricity use, which is exactly what our residential system is designed to do. So to talk about how exactly it's going to benefit the people using it, it helps them avoid those higher property taxes, and it is fully compatible with other incentives, such as the Oregon Solar and Storage Rebate. It's also important to mention that, again, it will increase the property value. The Lawrence Berkeley National Library, funded by the U.S. Department of Energy, also found that homeowners typically see a price premium of about $3.90 to $6.40 per watt of installed solar capacity. For a system of the size that we're proposing, that premium could be quite large when you eventually do decide to sell your house. So again, normally when your home value rises, your property taxes rise with it, but this protects you from that. The added value from the system is legally excluded from your property tax calculations. Over the lifetime of your system, this can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It essentially locks in the financial upside of solar without any of the property tax downsides.
So for Oregon's renewable portfolio standard, it was adopted in 2007 when only 2% of the state's energy came from renewable energy sources. In 2016, a Senate Bill 1547 was passed so that by 2040, 50% of energy sold by large electric companies had to come from renewable energy sources. The switch to solar energy is important because as renewable infrastructure continues to grow, electric rates will also grow, meaning switching to solar energy now will keep you safe and save you money in the long run. Because these renewable targets have to be hit by 2040, the state is required to support customers through net metering, meaning credits for extra solar energy sent back to the grid, monthly energy bill decreases, and maximizing the financial return on your investment. Incentives and rebates are also in place to make sure the RPS goal is met, which means it is cheaper for consumers to switch to solar energy now. Because the state is switching to clean energy, homes powered by solar will become more desirable, have an increase in value, and will become more appealing to buyers.
The final policy focuses on Oregon's net metering program. The program was established in 1999 and plays a vital role in encouraging homeowners and businesses to invest in renewable energy systems like solar power. Oregon designed its net metering program to make renewable energy more accessible. From the beginning, the program has been open to residential and commercial customers, giving a wide range of property owners the opportunity to participate. Residential systems are limited to 25 kilowatts, which is more than enough for typical homes. And then businesses 2 megawatts, a substantial capacity that can help power large businesses or industrial facilities. Importantly, the program is required for all utility companies in Oregon, ensuring that customers across the state have access to the same opportunities to reduce energy costs and support the grid. So how does net metering work? When a property owner installs a renewable energy system, most commonly solar panels, the utility company installs a bidirectional meter. Unlike a traditional meter, this simply measures how much electricity you use. This type of meter can track energy moving in both directions. It measures how much electricity your home or business consumes, but it also measures how much electricity your solar panels produce and sends back to the grid. This is beneficial for our systems and helps local communities.
And to go ahead and conclude everything we went over, a 6.6 kilowatt residential solar PV system offsets clients' annual usage, which was calculated as 8,094 kilowatt hours per year. Oregon provides strong support for these solar projects through interconnection rights, HOA protections, and municipal code supporting solar. Salem adds additional benefits through rebates, flexibility in permitting, and clear municipal codes. And again, those key incentives that we went over, we discussed Oregon solar and storage rebate programs property tax exemption, net metering, and Oregon's renewable portfolio standards. So overall, this project is cost-effective and supported by local policy, providing long-term support through savings, increased property value, and energy security.
Here are citations.